company is coming, how inviting is your entrance way? Like most of us, it looks like this.
Okay, this is what happens every time I'm trying to open this closet door, and I'm guessing a lot of you that have a family getting ready in the morning can relate to that. We do have great storage for coats in here, but there's lots of other things that need to go in a closet. I like to reuse bags for shopping. And I don't really have a good spot to put them. I'm always fighting to grab them every morning. Lots of shoes in here, but that doesn't include boots. And if you notice, this door doesn't even open all the way because when our kids come home, they just dump their backpacks and their sports equipment and head right inside. You might be wondering where all the winter shoes and boots are. Well, they're all over the floor everywhere. And this is with everybody at school and work and only me home. So there's a whole bunch more that's gonna end up here soon. Now, in an effort to not have everything fall on top of me all the time in the morning, I thought it'd be a good idea to get a basket and put our everyday stuff in here. But in order to get what you need, half of the stuff ends up on the floor anyway. The kids sit here to tie their shoes. And the bad thing about that is once they're here, nobody can get in and out of the house. And for an adult, if we have guests, this is just a little awkward to bend over and get your shoes on.
Live in studio right now to talk a little bit about keeping things very neat and tidy because it's the first thing people see when they come into your house, and also it needs to be functional for your family.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest working spaces in your house.
Yes.
And for so many of us, it's not doing the job, as you saw in my very embarrassing video. But there's so many little changes that you can make that will make a huge difference. So let's start with the inside of your closet. So I've got a unit here from IKEA, but this is something that you can actually put inside of your existing closet. You can keep your doors, you can keep everything. You can get units like these of different sizes.
Like depth, yeah.
Absolutely. And although it may look like you have less space, it actually creates a lot more storage for you.
Okay.
My first tip is if you have somewhere in your home that you can put off-season items like your denim jackets, your leather jackets don't need to be in here right now, at least not where we're living this week. But so if you can store those somewhere else, even up top if you can, or under a bed, then you're creating a bit of space. What I like about this section here is that you've got a spot for shorter jackets like this one, and then if you have any longer coats, there's that space on this side.
It's great.
But then you're using this more wisely than just dumping in a bunch of shoes, right? I love the idea of having a basket for every member of the family, and then you swap out what's in there. So this time of year, you're gonna have winter hats, gloves, mitts, that sort of thing. In the summer, you might have baseball hats and sunglass cases or something for the little kids. And of course, the younger you are, the more you have to bend over to get into it, right?
And you're okay with that when you're really little?
They don't mind.
They don't mind?
I do. So yeah, so that makes it really, really functional. I like that you can see through these wire baskets too, so if they forget which one's theirs, they can just kind of glance in and see what's going on. And then you've got added storage at the bottom here again for footwear. You could throw a basket in there if, if your kids are like mine and they have balls and all that sort of stuff in the entrance hallway. They can kind of get tucked away. And I love this floor to ceiling situation here. You saw all my stuff fall on top of my head. That is real life. That happens to me.
I feel you, girl.
All the time.
Yeah, we're all in it.
These are great for storing things that you don't need to use every day. So again, if you don't have somewhere else to store your off-season items, put those here. If you use reusable shopping bags like we do, if you have a gym bag, again, more footwear. There's so much more storage in here than just that one bar going across the typical hallway closet.
Yes. Okay. So this whole unit, you can have that put into whatever closet you have.
Right.
A lot of us don't have a closet at the front door.
Right.
So then you've got to deal with the hook situation, which we're going to talk about in a bit as well.
Yeah. First, let's go to what I call the grown-up zone over here. I like to have another
Is there a bar
cabinet
over there?
There should be.
What's happening over there?
Well, not as exciting as that. But everyone needs a place to drop their keys, maybe their phone, their wallets, that sort of thing, any mail before you're sorting it. So I like to have a surface to do that. I also think it's a really good idea to have a small little tray that you can put things in so it feels tidier. So, you're not just dumping your keys all over that surface. They're contained, right? Add a little bit of art because, again, this is the first place people see in your home. And then tucked in the cabinet, I like to keep my handbags at the front door. So I don't know if you can see in there. So I've got all my extra handbags, wallets, that sort of thing. So because I often forget that I want to switch it until my shoes are on, and then you can't go back upstairs to your bedroom closet, or you just don't want to, right? So I like to do that. You can keep, sometimes people keep documents and that sort of stuff because it's a contained space. And I like the idea that you can't see through the doors. So if you have glass doors leading into your home, people can't see all of those things, right?
That's right.
You could keep your laptop bag in there if you bring it home from work every day, so it's kind of hidden from view. Then we've got our kid zone, and this is really, really, really important. for people, especially if you have small children. They can't reach these bars to put their jackets away.
Yeah.
They can't reach hooks to hang their backpacks. And that's not an excuse anymore, because you can hang hooks at their height, and that's so important. Give them a dedicated place to put their footwear. Give them hooks. You can even label them with their name so that they know which one is theirs. If they're too little to read, color code them so that it's their favorite color, right? And they can know the routine is you come in the house, you hang your bag, you hang your coat, and all of those things go in a place. And I love the idea of personalizing this little spot for them as well. Put up photos of them. If you have a longer section, I like the idea of doing a photo for each child over their hook. Right? So it's
this
really
is my dream.
Do it.
I need a little bit of this in my life.
Right. Well, it's not hard to do. How easy is that?
It's pretty easy, right?
It's really easy.
It's just hooks on a wall that are low. Because right now they're coming in, they're putting their bags on the bench at the front door.
And then nobody can sit on it.
And no one can sit on it.
Right.
Yeah. So this is better. Get it off the floor or off the bench and onto the wall.
It just feels so much more organized, you know? And then let's talk about the seating. So you saw in my place, everybody just sits on that step, and literally you're stepping over people trying to get out of the house in the morning. It's awkward. I get frustrated.
Yes.
I may get a little annoyed with the kids.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Every single morning.
So I have plans for that space. I'd like to just pack this up and bring it home if I could.
Right.
But a bench is a really, really good idea, because more than one person can be sitting there at the same time. So if you have space for that, that's great. If you don't, just a chair is fine, or even a little stool, just something that's high enough, especially if you have guests, so that they can sit and slip on their boots, take everything off. I like the idea of having one of these this time of year. I don't know if you can see, I've got one of these kind of waterproof trays underneath the bench. So for the really messy shoes the kids are using, they can sit and just reach right underneath and grab exactly what they need and go. Same thing, if you don't need one of those, you can just slide some baskets underneath there. Right? And you can store them underneath, and it's good. Another thing I really love about a bench like this or a chair in your entrance hallway is if you do have company or people over, you can bring this somewhere else in your house and use it in other ways. I love the idea of multifunctional pieces that really do double duty for you.
Yeah.
And then on the floor, it's nice to have a runner as well. Just softens the space. Something that's washable is key.
Absolutely, and all you did here was you doubled them up. So you've got two going down, and you know that they're a material that they're not high maintenance.
Exactly, and it's much more budget friendly to double it up rather than to get a really long one too.
Yes. Okay, good. This is very organized. I love it all.